if your children have got nits or your dogs have got fleas, everyone, it's Gavin from Balls to You and welcome back to the channel. Brand new video. I had a fantastic question that came in to me the other day via Instagram. If you're not following me on Instagram, guys, get over there and follow me on Instagram, and please make sure you're subscribed to this channel. Give me a thumbs up and hit that notification bell. I've noticed that YouTube have actually switched off some of the people's notification bells recently, so just make sure that your notification bells actually switched on. There are a few people who have missed some amazing content. Anyway, back to today's video. The question came in from a gentleman on Instagram. He's currently breeding and he has a situation with mites. So in this video, I'm going to try and help you guys, or reassure you guys, if you get mites, it's not the end of the world, and also how to treat mites while you're breeding your ball pythons. Let's get into today's video. So I'm here in the breeding room and I'm going to explain to you about mites during the breeding season. Now, mites will and probably have happened to you during your experience of keeping these amazing animals. And again, it's nothing to worry about. It's just one of those things. It happens. Obviously, prevention is the best cure. We don't want to get mites, but if it happens, it happens. It's not the end of the world, guys. The best thing you can do is act. There are non-invasive and evasive methods of treating for mites. Now, one is obviously going to work better than the other. One is kind of repetitive and you're going to have to keep doing it, but it does work. And the other is simply a 2-dose treatment and you should be done. You should eradicate all the mites. Now, the one thing I've seen a lot of people get roped into is buying predatory mites. I would definitely say do not buy predatory mites. Do not get roped into this. Predatory mites is fantastic. It's all natural. They eat. Listen, guys, if your children have got nits or your dogs have got fleas, you're not going to go and get predatory nits and predatory fleas, are you, to treat them? No, you're going to use a treatment which is going to help eradicate them. You sort of treat your children, you treat the dogs, jobs are good and it's done. Pretty much it's done. And this is where, you know, these are very, very sturdy animals, okay? They can withstand this treatment, which I'm going to show you now, and it doesn't hurt them. I've seen people say, or I've heard people say, should I say, that this kills your snakes. It doesn't kill your snakes, okay? User error will kill your snakes, not the product, okay? Think about it. This product is for use on animals, okay? And if you're going to use it correctly, you won't have any issues, all right? So once we get that out of the way, let's get into the treatment itself. So the treatment I recommend, strongly recommend, is Frontline. Frontline in the spray bottle form like this. You can get it, I think this is the 250ml or the 500ml. Yeah, this is the 250ml, or you can get it in the 500ml. Either one, it's the same stuff. Now, I can categorically tell you this. I have used this and I've had fantastic success with this, with treating mites. And I'm talking within days, okay? There are other things that people use, like the hot shot fly insect killer thing. If you actually read the back of that, it's actually banned in the UK, and for good reasons. So be mindful of the hot shot sort of fly. It's like a cartridge about that big. I would advise against using that. All you need is this. There is other methods, like You can wash them and use olive oil, which works great. What happens is you wash the snake, bit of soapy water, you get most of the mites off, and then you sort of put some olive oil on a kitchen towel and let the snake run through it. And the whole idea behind that is that the mites can't grip onto the snake, they fall off. If they can't grip onto the snake, they can't feed. If they can't feed, they die. The life cycle of a mite isn't that long, so you won't have to wait that long before you have one mite multiplies into loads of mites, basically. You really need to act, and act sooner rather than later. With Frontline, now Frontline is designed for your domestic dog and cat. Now if you are worried about using this on your snake, I've used it, I've known other people use it, I've given bottles to people for them to use, and they've had no issues with their snakes while using this. This is, as I hate to say, is tested on animals and is for animals, okay? I've had it on my skin, it doesn't irritate me, I've not fallen down off it, dead and all that sort of stuff. There's a lot of sort of people, I believe there used to be a product called Frontline, or it is very similar to Frontline, and that was very harmful to the snakes or to animals in general, so that obviously went off sale. This only got founded in 2016 and production in 2016. This stuff is the bee's knees. There's two ways you can use this. The first way I would recommend, and again, we're talking about breeding ball pythons. So if you're breeding your ball python at this moment and you have mites, a lot of people would say stop breeding, okay? I'm going to say don't stop breeding. And before you say, oh, Gav said don't stop breeding, I'm going to explain why. The way I breed my animals is I will put a male in with a female once a month. The first thing you've got to do, let's take a female that's got mites, for example, and you've been breeding her. The first thing you need to do is check the male that's been in there and make sure he hasn't got any mites. But what I would also advise is also treat him for mites as well, whether you see them or not. The reason why we're going to look first of all whether or not he's got mites is because he may have gone to another female. So you can see how this is spread. So gets it from one female, he gets it, then passes it to another female, or vice versa. So you may put multiple males in with that one female, and those two males have now got mites. Mites are an arachnid. They don't jump like a flea or a tick. They basically just crawl around looking for the reptiles. What we've got to do is we've got to take away their food source. Now, like I said, the life cycle of a mite isn't that long. So literally within days of dosing your animal with this, you will start to find them in the tub, and you will see that some are dying, let's say, and you will see they are dead. Now, what I would also recommend, so let's say for example you breed once a month, which is how I do it. Once a month a male goes in with a female. What you're going to do is you're going to basically treat the animals, okay? So let's say it's 2 weeks before you're due to breed. Okay, I would recommend putting your breeding back a week or two, putting it back a week or two. And the reason for that is because we want to make sure we can eradicate them. And trust me, 2 doses of this within 2 weeks, you should be eradicated of mites. So we have a 2-week window. What we're going to do, I'm going to get some kitchen towel, I'm going to show you, I'm going to get one of my females out she's got follicles. It's not going to hurt her, guys, okay? I wouldn't do it to my snake if it was going to hurt them, and I obviously wouldn't advise you guys to do it either. So I'm going to spray this on, I'm going to show you the method I use, and then we're going to discuss it in a bit more detail as well while I'm doing that. So let's grab a female and let's get into it. So I'm going to show you one method that you can do, and this is probably good for a first treatment. Now, as you can see, we use ReptiBlock, and we have the ReptiBlock bedding in there. Now, I would advise, if you want to, you can take the bedding out, and replace it with plain unprinted paper or kitchen towel, whatever you want to do. And the reason why we do that is because then we can look at what falls off the snake. I can tell you now, predatory mites, for me, from what people have told me, have just created more problems. Okay, so using predatory mites like this would, for me, create more issues. And again, I've not used them, but the people that have used them have had real poor success, and it's just created other issues. Some people have had success, I'm not saying they haven't, but I'm trying to basically eliminate all these sort of methods that people have used that really don't work. For me, I don't want to stress these animals out. They're breeding. So the last thing I want to do is keep going in there and messing with them and sort of, let's try predatory mites. And then they don't work, or they kind of do work. And then now you've got to get rid of the predatory mites or deal with them. And again, I just don't like the sound of it. You wouldn't do it on your kids. I wouldn't do it on my dogs. So these are as much my children as my children are. So why would you do it? Anyway. This female has gone through pre-late shed, so we're going to be showing you a real quick demonstration on this female, how to give a way of doing the dosage. So what you can do with this, you can basically apply it on the snake, very liberal sprays, like one spray pretty much over the snake, and then one or two around the bedding area. Take out the water bowl, okay guys? Take out the water bowl for at least 2 days after treating. You can put it back in after 2 or 3 days after treatment. Then what I want you guys to do is basically let that do its work, let it kill whatever's going to be in there. And then what we're going to do, give it 6 days, and then we're going to apply another treatment. Okay, again, take the water bowl out and apply another treatment. That's a way you can do it without removing the bedding. Now the problem with that is, for me, bits of fibre, bits of bedding does sometimes, you may think it's a mite. So it can really confuse you. So if you want to be real stringent with it, you can strip the bedding out, paper towel, and do it like that. Now the good thing with bedding, it does mask a lot of the smell. So if you're using ReptiBlock or another bedding and then you get rid of it and you go back to unprinted paper or paper towels, you'll notice a difference in your reptile room with the smell of the urates and the weeing and the breeding and all that sort of stuff. So the bedding is obviously great for absorption. They are an arachnid, the mites are. So what will happen is, when you've sprayed it into the bedding, if they fall off the snake and onto the bedding will absorb it and will help kill the mites as well. So that's one method you can do. Again, do it if you're due to breed your male with this female literally that week, then put it off for another 2 weeks. Okay, it's not going to hinder your breeding program or your breeding success by doing that. The other thing is, if this female is gravid, okay, and she's going to lay, rather than spraying her and getting rid of all the bedding, because again, they're going to want to nest, they're going to want to feel secure. Again, we don't want to stress these animals out. What I would do, I would get some paper towel, kitchen towel, like so. I would spray it on the towel, and then I would wipe the snake over, okay, like so. And basically what you're going to do, if she has got mites, obviously it will come off and you'll see it there. Screw it up, put it straight into a bin, and then put the bin directly outside from any other room, from any other reptile. Keep it, you don't want to leave that bin in overnight. You want to get it out just in case. Better to be safe than sorry. So again, we can apply it using kitchen towel, okay, and we can do it very liberally, just so we run it over the back, not to disturb her. Again, if you want to, you could, after you've done that, spray a bit of the bedding in that area. Again, by the time she lays eggs, those mites should be gone, long gone. If they're not, it's not a problem. Let her lay the eggs. Then we're going to take the eggs off her, obviously making sure there's no mites on the eggs. Then we're going to put them in the incubator, okay? Then we're going to treat the female. The only thing that should change is you're postponing your breeding schedule. That's it. if you use Frontline, Frontline will kill these mites fast, and it will be fast. Literally 6 days, let's say 6 to 8 days, give them another dose just to be absolutely certain. Pretty much by then you won't see anything else. So you can have this under control within inside of 2 weeks. Okay, this is what I use, this is what I recommend. Everyone that's had mites who have come to me for help, I've recommended this treatment, and this has worked. Do not waste your money on anything else. You will have to sign up online to get this product from, like, online. You'll have to say it's for your dog. If you've got dogs, not a problem, use it on your dogs as well. You know, I'll tell you a funny story. I actually did my daughter's hair. When a mum phoned me and said, can you check Eliza's hair? I think she's got nits from school. Checked it, couldn't see anything, but I frontlined her anyway. I put it on a brush, you know, dad of the year, all that sort of stuff. You know, guys, this is stuff. I want to help you, and I want to put any sort of worries that you have to bed. This is exactly what I would do, and you will not have any issues with her going on to lay a beautiful clutch of eggs for you. And again, the other way you could do it, guys, you could take your kitchen towel, spray it on there, and you could, obviously with the help of someone else as well, let the snake run through the kitchen towel, okay, and then put the animal back in a new tub with, again, unprinted newspaper if you want. Move her card over onto the new tub and put her into the rack. Job's a good one. Like I said, they are arachnids, so they will need other reptiles to feed off. So once you've treated this one, the chances are you will have to treat that rack, okay? And again, it's better to treat the whole rack than it is to wake up and have to fight it in another 2 weeks, and then find out another female's got it and you're gonna have to fight it in another 2 weeks, and so on and so forth. So, you know, while you're here, you might as well treat your females. And again, any males that have been in contact with the females, again, make sure they're treated as well. Exactly the same process. Just make sure you do it, because trust me, it's better to be on top of it than be swamped with mites. Okay, guys, I hope this video helps. I hope it gives you an insight. Please, if there's any questions, either post them in the comment box below or send me a DM. I am happy to help as much as possible, guys. But for anyone who's on my Patreon and Discord, you guys know we rate this stuff like you wouldn't believe. This is fantastic stuff. So definitely get yourself some of that, guys. The other thing I advise, again, with my Patreon members, is stuff like this. They get in. It's better to have it and not need it, and need it and not have it. So get yourself a bottle in, just in case. You never know. And again, any animals that do come into your collection or do go into quarantine, there's nothing wrong with giving it a dose of Frontline. Again, on paper towel, let it run through, put it in your quarantine rack. Hopefully it won't have mites, but if it does, then it's going to kill it and attack it before then you pass it through quarantine and into your main collection. Okay, guys, I hope you're all well. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for all your support. I love and respect you all. Take care, and I'll see you guys on the next one.
I hit record a job, you can't ignore it. I'm transforming.